Hello and welcome to Passion Vista podcast. I'm your host Neetu Singh, and today I am with my very endearing friend and a very special guest of mine, Dr. Carolyn Rubin. Dr. Carolyn, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us at Passion Vista podcast.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Neetu, and it is so good to be here and to be with you today. So thank you for having me. I so enjoy our conversation.
Absolutely a pleasure. How are you doing today?
Doing well. It's been an early morning full of storms here and a lot of rain, but otherwise we're doing very well today. So it's always good when you can get up and put your feet on the floor.
Absolutely. So let's begin with an endearing conversation with Dr. Carolyn. So, Dr. Carolyn, you've had an extensive career in healthcare spanning over 32 years. That's a very, amazing long time that you've had. So, would you like to share your key moments that defined your journey from a pharmacy technician to a healthcare consultant and now a leader? I mean, you've done a tremendously amazing job. Please tell us about your journey.
Sure, absolutely, would love to. When I first got into healthcare, it was just one of those things, and I did. I started out as a pharmacy technician. I was the first to be licensed in the state of Nebraska as a pharmacy technician, and was really enjoying what I was doing. But then also, I wanted to be able to do more. I had patients that would come in, and they had to decide, do they pick up their medications or do they buy food for their family? And so it was at
Mm,
that time I just was like, okay, I need to do something more. I need to be on the other side of the counter and actually be in the clinical field and just figure out, how do I help these patients? How can I help them be able to do both, right? How can they feed their family and take care of themselves? So I went back to school
wonderful thought.
and became a certified medical assistant. And my focus was 100% on that. It's just being a patient advocate, figuring out, how do I work with the insurance companies? How do I make sure that, they get the care that they need? And
Yes,
so from there, I just kept going and having the right conversations. And I think that's, was a big success, was not just having a conversation, but having the right conversation and knowing when to pay attention and knowing how to listen to what the patient's needs were. So many times we forget to,
yes,
just pay attention in totality to any
correct.
conversation.
Yes.
And so I always like to tell everybody, you have to listen with your eyes. And that was a big part of my success. It was,
Wow.
taking into account everything that was going on at any given time. And even if that meant that, I took them dinner one night so they didn't have to worry about it, it's what we
Oh,
did.
amazing.
So,
Wow, that's really a kind gesture from your end, I must say, because the very few people, those who actually think about the well-being. I mean, usually we just think, okay, the patient is here, we'll be just giving the medicines and they'll go off. Now that's their responsibility. But this is a very thoughtful thought which has actually come into your mind and really remarkable, I must say. So, what motivated you to transition from a technical and operational roles to a leadership and a consultancy?
it was to make sure that we could grow our leaders of tomorrow. As I worked with medical practices, as I worked with the teams that were there, one thing that I saw was the fact that they wanted to grow. They had the desire to grow. They wanted to, make sure that not only were they successful, but their patients were well taken care of. So it was like, okay, I need to do more to help these individuals become who they want to be. And it
Hmm.
became a passion for me. My grandpa was also a big part of that role. When he was ill, we had a lot of conversations on what was needed in a clinical office. Where did he, have some struggles? And so taking and just moving from that clinical role into more of an operational role allowed me to really sit down with those individuals and be able to build them up, empower them to, be the person that they wanted to be, empower them to, have a smile on their face every time they came to work, and to
Wow.
remember that it wasn't about them. It was about the patients that they were taking care of every single day. And I still have several of my students that reach out to me today, and just, let me know what's going on in life. And that's the joy of it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's actually very inspirational to know this journey, how this journey began. And very glad to know that you're passing this legacy to your, students, to your people around who are there. This is really beautiful job that you're doing.
Thank you.
So, what actually inspired you to start Carolyn M. Rubin Consulting, and what challenges do you face during this initial phase?
It was actually a funny story how it originally got started. I was working in oncology, so I was part of an oncology practice, and there was a pharma group that I was working with. I worked with about 5 different ones, and we would travel across the United States talking to different physician groups and individuals about, just what was going on with healthcare, and also helping make sure that patients understood what their healthcare benefits were. And during that period of time, one of them came up to me and said, "Hey, how would you like to write a column for us?" And I was like, "What do you mean
Oh,
write a column?" And they had a newsletter that went out every month to their practices. So Carolyn M. Rubin Consulting was born with an Ask Carolyn column, so that people could write in and ask healthcare questions, whether it was about insurance, whether it was about patient care. It didn't matter what the question was. If it came to Ask Carolyn, then they got a response in the next month newsletter. So that's how
oh,
it got
wow.
started. And then I was just traveling around the states and around the country, just talking about what was important to patients, what was important to the practitioners and to the physicians, and really, what does everybody need to understand to make sure that we're successful in many ways?
That's wonderful. That's really beautiful
Yeah.
journey altogether that you've been going through. So, you emphasize on servant leadership. So, can you elaborate what servant leadership means to you and how you apply it in your work?
I love being a servant leader. It just, for me, I lead from the bottom up. So I do not believe in, coming to work and telling everybody, this is what you go do, and then go sit in an office. That is just not who I am. I very much am one of these hands-on, in a good way. So I come in, make sure that individuals have the tools they need to be successful. I love to grow individuals. So being a servant leader, I empower them to learn. I empower them to grow. I empower them to go after whatever career choice they want, whether if they want to be a director, then great, let's work on that. How do we make that happen? I just
Hmm.
promoted my director to a VP just about a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
because she was where she wanted to be, and she did a great job, actually just growing into that role. And so, for me, it's serving others, and that's what it's all about. It's not about what's in it for me. It's all about what's in it for them. And if I can make them successful, if they take my job, then that's great. Then I know that I did my job, growing them into the leader that they wanted to be. And that's my joy every single day. It's how can I serve others and make sure they have the best life, and they achieve all of the goals that they wish to achieve. So whether I'm teaching, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm mentoring, it's all about them. And it's about how do I serve them, not how do they serve me.
Wonderful. That's really inspiring because I think an inspiring leader can only create more leaders.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to hear it from you that how amazingly you are actually making future leaders. So that's a big round to you indeed.
Thank you. I think that's what it's all about, right? It's like if we don't set people up for success, then, who do we have to hand things off to? We need to leave those legacies. But we also need to make sure that they're successful in whatever we
That's
hand to them as well. And I remember the days when that wasn't the mentality. And growing up was, sometimes a challenge or a struggle to get where I wanted to be, especially as a woman, right? It's like we have to break the glass ceiling somewhere, sometime in order to get where we want to go. And we do that by others helping us along and making sure we're set up for success. So it's passing it on, just making sure that everybody coming through, all our future leaders have that same opportunity.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
amazing. So, Caroline, you have received numerous honors, and certainly the list is like going on and on. But I would definitely like to say you've been the Woman of the Year and top healthcare executive of the decade. You've been nominated and also been awarded as Who's Who of the industry. It's a very beautiful and very empowering title, being there into the Who's Who list because of the amazing work that you've been doing. You've been also featured with Passion Vista and women leaders to
Yeah.
look up to. And you've also been into Hall of Fame. I mean, the titles and the awards are like going on, and I'm absolutely mesmerized. And I think even they are less for the kind of work you were doing. They're amazing what you're doing. So how do these accolades reflect your contribution to the field, and what do they mean to you as your personality?
I'm very honored and humbled every time I receive an award because it's not what I'm going after. The awards are beautiful, and just being honored, it's just a very humbling experience to just know that you're being recognized, right? That people see what you're trying to do. But more importantly for me, it's helping others, especially our younger generation, know that anything is possible. I'm going to be 61 years old this year. I'm a,
Oh,
I'm a
wonderful.
nana to seven. Between my husband and I, we have 11 grandbabies. I mean, we have a lot that goes on, but there's nothing more important than family and being able to leave that legacy to others. And so to be able to bring our leaders of tomorrow um, to success and to be able to help them achieve what they want. That's what the awards and the accolades are all about. It's not, the fact that I just need another piece on my bookshelf, which my husband always tells me I need a new bookshelf. What it really represents is the number of individuals that I've been able to touch, the number of
Yes.
individuals that I've been able to help, that I've had conversations with, the number of people that have grown. So for me, that's the special meaning around the accolades, is just to know that I've been able to empower hundreds and thousands of women and young adults to be who they want to be and to go after anything they want to in life, because anything is possible.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely true. And we very proudly would like to say that you have been Amazon's bestseller author. So that's again an applause for you, and again, one more feather in your cap.
Mhm.
So, how did this thought of, writing a book and, sharing, and especially, the bestseller book, how does thought actually came into your mind and in your life?
I met a very dear man. His name is Caesar Espinino, and he was writing an anthology, and he was looking for someone to write, to be one of the chapters in the book. So I said yes. And then I also met a very dear woman who is no longer with us, who had also reached out and said, "Hey, I want you to put a chapter in my book called Heroes, Leaders, and Legends." And so I did that. I wrote a chapter for her that was all about, how I got where I am today. Where did I start out? What are the important things in my life? And really what made me who I am today. And then for Caesar's book, it's You Can Overcome Anything. And then there's different volumes. So one of them was with courage, one was with fear, one was with integrity, and so it's, I really got started writing chapters in the books and just telling my story. And it was really all about, helping others to understand that we go through challenges in life. If we could plan our life it to be exactly what we want it to be, we'd never have to worry about anything. But it doesn't work that way, and things
It
happen,
doesn't,
and
yes.
we all go through it. So I write the chapters based on my life and based on what I went through. How did I get through it? How did I survive? What am I doing today, to keep me going? And I figure if it helps anyone, then I've been able to step back and feel the success of that. So, just being able to let people know it's okay. We all fall forward, sometimes literally fall forward, and we just pick ourselves up
So
and
definitely, I
keep
mean, we
going.
would like to catch you here, and we would like to know that what is actually the power behind Dr. Carolyn Rubin? What keeps her going? What is the inspiration, and how she manages to be an amazing wife, amazing, I must say, not only wife but a daughter. I mean, you're excellent daughter, taking care of your mother at this age. You are a loving grandmother. So you're playing a lot of roles: granny, wife, mother, daughter. Tell us about this, please.
Um, Family is what life is all about, right? And when we have the ability to give back, my mom was always, there were six of us kids. There's four left. I lost a brother and a sister. So there's four of
Oh.
us still left. But my mom was one that she stayed home. She took care of all of us. And so, she's like, I'm going to be strong. You're never going to have to worry about me. And I'm like, Mom, I'm always going to worry about you. Your mom, right?
Your
Like
mom.
you always worry
That's
about me, and I'm always going to
right.
worry about you.
And
And
you.
as we
Right.
get older in life, we say this a lot, but it's absolutely true. The children now take care of their parents. The parents took time to raise us and to give us their love, their support, everything that they had every single day. And as they get older, it's okay. We all need that help and support, regardless of how old we are. And so the fact that I can step back and take care of my mom and make sure that she is well, take care of my dad and make sure that he's doing well, and my grandbabies. I talked to my great granddaughter yesterday on the phone, and she's just all bubbly, hi, Nana, I love you. And it's like, there's nothing better than to hear those words, right?
Words, I know.
When you're on the phone. But it truly is leaving that legacy for your family and to make your family proud, but also to help your family understand that, no matter what comes at us in life, we can choose to, let things just stay where they are, or we can choose to plant the flowers and smell the blooms. And for
Hmm.
me, I chose to plant the flowers, and just keep on growing, because that's what allows me to continue to take care of my family and just be able to embrace them every single time I see them.
What a beautiful thought you shared. I think if all start believing in this and start working on it, there'll be no hatred, and life will become quite easy for all of us, because
Right.
we are focused. I mean, if we focus on greenery, flowers, happiness, beauty, then of course we're enhancing this beauty. But if we
Yeah,
are focusing on all negative things, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I hate this, then it's just the focus where we are
that's
putting,
right.
and what is actually in growing. So that's really beautiful of your words that you've been sharing with
Thank
us.
you.
So, Caroline, you have also your TV show. So, we would certainly like to know what inspired you to create the TV show that is by the name Empower Fuse,
Yes.
Unleashing Inspiration Together. And how do you envision in contributing to the healthcare and leadership communities in this?
I was looking for a way to get my message out to more people, to be able to touch more individuals, to be able to share just, a little bit. Every single week, it's a different topic. It's about life, it's
Hmm.
about laughter, I have guests that will come on at different times as well that, we talk about just anything that's going on, but it's always beneficial to those who are listening. So, as a life coach, as a meditation trainer, it's how can I help individuals that maybe have a stressful day? Maybe they are, trying to figure things out in life. How do we help them realize that you can make things happen? And so just figuring out how to get that message out. And I received a call from a dear friend who's like, how would you like to have your own show? And that was in October of last year. And we kicked it off this year, called Empower Fuse, Unleashing Inspiration Together. And it streams live every Saturday on Facebook, YouTube, Apple, Amazon. We're on all of the different channels. But I just spend an hour talking to the audience and just sharing life events, and if I bring the guest on, then it's, whatever they want to talk about. So I had a gentleman on, Nick, a couple weeks ago, who he wrote his first book and it's getting
Oh,
ready
wow.
to launch. He's asked me to write the foreword for his book, so I'm excited to be able to contribute to that. But it's fun. It is, and when I was there with you and GD, it was like I want to grow up just to be just like him. Where I love GD with gusto, had so much fun being on the show. And I was like, one of
Yes.
these days, I'll be just like GD. But for now, I have a lot of fun on my Saturday afternoon show.
Oh, that's really amazing. That's wonderful. That we glad to know you have loved being on the show, and you're again empowering your people around there, and you're taking it forward as a legacy and contributing towards society. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
So, Caroline, what is your success mantra? We would like to know that.
Every day you go to work, you walk through the door with the eyes of a patient. If you do that, you will always be successful. That was a promise that I made to my grandpa. When he was struggling with cancer, he was struggling getting just the attention or the help that he needed. This is where a lot of my consulting came into play later in life, and really working with individuals at the front office, because he just could not get them to really listen to him when he went into the office. So many times, and we've all experienced, you walk in and most of the time it's like this, and they've got their head down and they say, please sign in and have a seat and we'll be right with you. And he needed someone to really pay attention to what he was saying, because he was concerned about my grandma, but did not want to worry my grandma by stating that out loud. But he couldn't really get them to focus on what he was trying to say either. So we had a lot of great conversations. He was my mentor as I was growing up, meant a lot. And a big reason why I'm an entrepreneur today is because of him, and just watching what he did for others as well. But basically, it just comes down to just listening with your eyes, pay attention to verbal and nonverbal body language, really think about the others and not yourself when you walk through a door. So if you're going to the office or even at home, it's like, how can I look through my eyes at what they might be going through, and how do I help them through those struggles? So every day, that is how I start my day. And I share that every opportunity I get, whether it's in healthcare, I might be consulting with a different group. I just change it up. It's because it's every day you go to work, you walk through the door with the eyes of another. And if you do that, you will always be successful. It's all about being a servant leader. It's put them first, and you will always,
Yes.
always make things happen.
Amazing, amazing. We had really great fun in understanding that how beautifully you taking forward, you creating leaders, you passing on your legacy, and this is really, I think, an heart-touching topic which very few of us understand. We just believe, or we're just into a myth that we're just born here to take care of others,
Yeah.
but then we're not working on it. But as a doctor, I think there are very few doctors who actually think the way you're thinking, and by passing on this legacy of creating beautiful leaders who can actually take care of patients, not only medically, but also I think it's important to empower the patient, that
Correct.
how they can look after themselves, what
Yes.
better things they can do to change, so that even they pass on that legacy to their respective family members, to their friends, and this way the society could grow in a better way. So
Most
that's
definitely. Yeah. It's what life is all about. It's like, God put us on this world to take care of each other, and we have to, in one way or the other. We have to make sure that, everybody has an opportunity to be well, to be successful, to be heard. And, if we can all take just a few minutes to do that, man, we'd have a lot of smiling faces.
yeah. Absolutely, that's so true. So, just a last closing question that I would put you on as what message would you like to share to the aspiring leaders who want to make a difference in the healthcare industry?
I'd say first, listen with your eyes. Make that your mantra, and always pay attention to what's going on around you. But I would also say never stop learning. Make every second count. Whatever you want to um, do it in a servant leadership style, and know that the more that you serve others, the more you empower yourself to grow and to be a part of a legacy and to really pay attention to what's going on around you. You can climb the mountains. You can have any opportunity you want in healthcare. There are so many needs, and so many ways that we can meet those needs. But it's just make sure that you keep everyone else at the forefront, because it truly is about them. When you're in healthcare,
Yes.
you are serving others, and you have to make sure that you're not leading the pack, you're walking with the pack. So just always keep that in mind, and you'll be successful wherever you go.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is the beauty of Carolyn Rubin, I must say. Amazing, amazing person. And indeed, I would like to say I am very glad that I got this opportunity to personally meet you in our office in Ahmedabad. It was really amazing, the endearing conversations we had. There's a lot to learn from you, actually, your experience, your stories. It's like, one thing I always say, I always remember you, the time we spent together.
Yes.
Everything was simply beautiful, and very nicely you present things which actually are, when you go back home you actually think about it, that oh wow, what was it, that thought that she shared, and how beautifully she's actually playing the roles, she's working on it. And in India especially, it's little difficult that a woman is working, a woman is taking care of the house, though it is equally there too.
Right.
uh, taking care of everything, because woman is meant like that she is just born to take care of family,
Yeah.
just that's her only priority. But while we have empowering leaders like you, it's a great inspiration for our audience, for us, that how beautifully you're taking care at this age also. I must say, you don't look like you're 61, you just look like you're 50, and you are aging graciously and beautifully, I must say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's yeah, hard to believe sometimes that I'm 61 as well. It's,
Yeah.
I think about it and it's like, wow, okay, but I don't feel 61, so that's okay. My mom is 81, so she's turned 81 in April, and
Oh
she's still
wow.
going strong. And I just keep telling her we'll just keep going strong together. So, but I will tell you, Dr. Nee, I enjoyed our visit. I mean, coming to India was just probably the best memory this year, and just spending the time with you and your daughter and Gidi and everybody else on your team. I can't wait to get back and
Oh,
see
lovely. We're
everybody
looking forward to
again,
see you. Yeah.
because it was an amazing time, and it was just fabulous all the way around. Even when I almost missed my flight, they made sure that I didn't miss my flight. So they took care of me as well. And, it was such a wonderful time. And the memories are as if they were yesterday. And so I
I would
truly,
say
truly
that,
enjoy it.
this was absolutely a pleasure that we could make it for you, because you doing so much for the society, for the people around, you actually empowering them. And I mean, I would say that it's okay. Like, people do all this leadership things. Yes, they're equally important. But, when you
Yeah,
are into an healthcare industry, and when you are, I would say nothing is as beautiful as gifting oneself a good health.
right.
As we always say, health is wealth. When
Yes,
I was very sick, that moment I actually understand why people say health is wealth.
yeah,
Because health is everything. If you are healthy, you can recreate things, you can work, you can do
yes,
anything.
yes.
So wealth, of course, is important, but health is like topmost priority. And you are gifting people that beauty. So if we could,
Thank you.
contribute in a small thing of for you, that was absolutely a pleasure, and we are glad we could make it.
Yes, yes. It was a lot of fun. I even tell the story about how I went head first towards the coffee. So, you know, we got to put the laughter in there as well,
Yes.
because that's the memories of the trip, right? It's like you have to take each and every moment and embrace it, regardless of what it is. I will say probably, you know, 50 years ago or 20 years ago, I might have looked at that moment and been so embarrassed that I would have ran and hid. And these days, it's part of life. It's like, well, yeah, okay, I tripped, I fell, I got back up. I didn't break anything. I was okay.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
we just keep
yeah.
on going. But it brings laughter, and laughter truly is the best medicine. And
Yes.
if we can keep people smiling, that's what it's all about.
Wonderful, wonderful. That was an amazing podcast with you, Carolyn. Thank you so much for joining us today to Passion Vista podcast. And here we are signing off. Do catch this podcast. Do catch Carolyn and the amazing journey that she's been going, and absolutely inspiring. As we are inspired, may you all be inspired through the journey of Carolyns. So thank you so much, and stay tuned at Passion Vista podcast.